My name's Ian Robertson and I'm the CTO of a company called JPL RFID based here in Houston in Texas. And welcome to the latest one of our information videos that we do on RFID. In this particular case today, what I'd like to talk about is liquids and maybe help dispel the myth that liquids are really a problem for RFID, especially in its passive form. You can see that here in Houston we have a lot of oil companies and a lot of oil and gas industry. So one of the things that we do a lot of testing on is oil itself. Now oil of course is a liquid, and there are a lot of people around the world who think that liquids are really a problem for RFID, full stop, just any liquid. There are some liquids actually that do impact performance of RFID, particularly water-based liquids, but this is not the case for oil. So we're going to look at how can this actually technology be applied to oil, and in this case in the form of these quarts of oil that you can see here. They're just ordinary standard quarts of oil. In fact, I bought them at Walmart a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and there's 24 of them in total. Now, one of the interesting things about the way we work at JPL is that we're actually very interested in theory, and we like theory, but we absolutely love practice. We love getting out there and getting on the ground and actually using this technology in the way in which it would be used in real life. And so that's why we go and buy real oil from a real shop, just the same as anyone else would, and stack it up as if it was actually being delivered to that shop. Now, if you look at every single one of these, you can just see there, hopefully, that there's a barcode there. That's known in the North America colloquially as a UPC, a Uniform Product Code. It was the original barcode used in shops. Actually, technically, it's a thing called a GTIN, a Global Trade Item Number, derived from a not-for-profit organization called GS1. And this particular barcode, if you were to go and buy this in Walmart, they would simply have scanned that barcode, and up would have come, there's a quart of oil, 5W20 motor oil from Supertech, and it would have derived all of that from knowing exactly what that barcode was. Interestingly though, what it couldn't have told you was which quart of oil I had in my hand. But we can do that, as I'm about to demonstrate. So there are 24 of these here. The thing is that what we're going to do is to demonstrate how to detect all 24 of them. The important thing to remember about oil is it's actually what we technically call a positive dielectric. And what this means is that oil does not interfere with the radio transmission at the sort of frequencies we are going to use. It almost aids it, in fact, but it does not interfere with the transmission, as many people think. So what we have done is we have put on here, you can see this large white strip with the numbers on it. This is in fact an RFID tag, a radio frequency identification tag. Now, what does it look like? Well, actually, it started off life like this. Now these are a standard 6x4 pallet label or carton label that's used in industry. We also use them for identifying boxes and pallets. And this particular one, you can see it's been printed just exactly as if it was being used for a barcode. In fact, we print the identifier and a barcode on the bottom. But before it was printed, this is what it looked like, just a blank label. And to get it to this size, we then just cut it down, but we were careful to cut it down where the RFID tag is. Now what does that look like behind the scenes? Here you can see the antenna, and if you're close enough you can probably just see a black dot in the center there, and that black dot is actually the RFID chip that does all the processing once the signal's been received. So there's one of these on each of these bottles, every single one of them. And we've identified uniquely here a number on each bottle, but actually the tag has a unique identifier as well. So this is an important point. The code, the EPC, the electronic product code, that is contained on this chip, not only tells us exactly what that barcode told us, that it's a Supertech 5W20 oil, 1 quart. The EPC tells us precisely which one it is that I've got in my hand. So we can uniquely identify all of them. Now how long does that take? Well, If we were to scan the barcodes on each one of these, I'd have to get my barcode scanner, and then I'd have to take each one and line it up and read the barcode. Put it back down again, pick up the next one, and so on. Even if I was at a high-speed checkout in a supermarket like Walmart, I'd have to pass each one of these over that 3D scanner. How long then would it take with RFID? It's actually quite a bit faster. Let's have a look. So this is actually also an RFID scanner. I'm going to tell the system that I want to do a full scan. I want to pick up all of those. By the way, we've loaded into the database on here the identity of each one of those. So the system will actually tell us when we've read them all. And when is this useful? Well, imagine we were trying to check that there were all of these on a pallet that should be there were there. Then we would want to know that. But supposing also we were doing a physical inventory in a warehouse, not of oil, but of anything. We could tell the system or ask the system, what items do you think should be in this location? And then we can use this method to check that they're all there. So how long does it take to read all 24? Well, we're just about to find out. It's done. I didn't count that, but I don't suppose it was more than 3 seconds. They're all done. It says here that it's read all 24. And I think you can see, if I can just clear that off, you can see the 24 are there. Now, just to show you that we really did, let's pick one at random. Number 7, and number 7 is 201628. Let's see if we can find 201628 in the detail. I'll just bring that up. And now I'm going to scan down, having a look. There it is. I don't know how close we can get, but that is it there. That ends in 201628. And actually on the screen you can see listed all the other items that we just read. So, what are the advantages of this technology? Well, first of all, I think we've just proved that it works quite well through oil. Actually, we've done testing in our lab. This is our main lab, but we also have a lab where we can test pallets in another building away from here. And we've tested complete pallets. And we know, actually, through other tests, we've read through more than 15 feet of oil in a straight line and still been able to read the tag. So I think you saw that from the perspective of speed and effort, it took me less than 3 seconds, or let's say 3 seconds of almost no effort at all, and I read them all. So I think what we just demonstrated is A, RFID works through some liquids. There are some issues with water-based liquids and water, although it's still possible to read through them at shorter distances, but there isn't a problem with oil. The other thing I think we've shown is the speed, the sheer speed of it in doing it, and of course the accuracy. And of course the third thing is that by being able to identify every single one of these, now if my customer has a query as to what I've shipped to them, I not only can tell them that I shipped 24 of these, I can tell him the serial numbers of all 24 that I actually shipped him. By the way, what I haven't mentioned is this good for me as the manufacturer and the shipper? Yes, but actually it's good for my customer too. Because by tagging these this way, what it means is my customer, when he receives these, why, he can get exactly the same sort of benefit in terms of accuracy, speed and reduced cost as I got in putting it together to ship to him to begin with. So I hope you've enjoyed that, just a quick demonstration of what we can do with items not only in the oil and gas industry, we focus on that industry, but you could apply this in fact to many, many industries and many, many products. And we look forward to you joining us for the next information video that we release. Thank you.